Hey,
Yo, what's going on, buddy?
uh, I made I made a 3 minute documentary for this games outlet called MinMax, and they watched like mine and everybody else's on stream yesterday. So that was fun. Yeah, I was watching it live. They, yeah, they watch them, react to them. It's very positive community, and many other good documentaries as well, like quote unquote documentaries. They're just like 3 minute videos.
Nice. So I just finished at Costco, and I decided like if I'm gonna spend time in BC, I don't want a vehicle because like everything is super close by. So I brought my rucksack, and I just shopped like I normally would. I would normally fill up a fucking car, right? So I have about 100 pounds on my back right now, and I got shit in the front too. Like I can't fit it all in the back. It's a big ruck, so and people are just like, "Holy fuck!" I could see them being like, "How the hell is he carrying that shit?" Dude, it was like a full cart.
Yeah, you could get some kind
$500.
of like towable wagon or something like that.
Fuck that. No, I'm a backpacker, man. Now, I would never backpack with this weight over long distance because you're just going to break your knee. But like getting
How
back
long
to
is the walk?
750, but then I got to climb stairs.
Because you
I
could
think I'll,
make 2 trips. If it's close enough, just do it in 2 trips.
yeah, it's like a 20-minute walk. So I was hoping to
Yeah.
be offloaded, but I just kind of took my sweet time when I was there.
It's kind of fun though, bringing like I've only done like small grocery loads, but sometimes there was a time when I was walking maybe about like a kilometer to a grocery store, and it's kind of fun to just get a bit too many groceries and bring them all back. And but then when you get back and you have all this food and you carried it, it feels kind of fun to just unpack
Yeah,
all this stuff. Yeah, it feels like you really earned it or something.
you've earned your groceries, yeah.
Yeah. I guess it kind of simulates like a hunt, like uh, when people physically hunted. This is just like a way simplified version of that.
Yeah, well, because your fucking kills weigh a ton. So, like, hunters will, do their thing, but then they got to bring
Yeah,
English, back their pay, right? Their prey.
yeah.
So, yeah, and then, like, it's, like, rough terrain, too, so they can really fuck themselves up.
That would be
Like,
such a crazy trip, like riding out to see like buffalo, hunt the buffalo, then like carve the buffalo and bring back all the stuff. That would be such a weird series of events.
yeah, man. That's what we used to do back in the day.
I also made the game Outer Wilds. Did you ever hear about that game?
No.
I made it's just like a random like first person. You sort of have a spaceship, you fly around to different planets. But I made a spoken word rap video that kind of tells the story of the beginning of the game. Like I took a bunch of footage of me playing the first hour of the game, and then I remixed the footage and wrote lyrics that ended up being kind of like there's this genre of rap called like drill rap where it's, in my understanding, it's fairly close to just like talking with a certain rhythm and occasionally rhyming words in like a freestyle sort of way. But I put together a video like that, and I think it turned out pretty well. So now I'm kind of into trying to write lyrics that tell stories and things that are meaningful to me, and record those into videos.
Interesting.
It's been pretty interesting. Like I find if I write down a couple of bullet points of what I want to get across, and then I start writing like rhyming couplets that sort of communicate that same meaning, then very quickly it becomes a fairly interesting song. And then as soon as it's kind of in song form, where you have to be sometimes a bit ambiguous to get things to rhyme and work, then there's like double meanings. And that's kind of a fun process to take like a story and then convert it into rhyming words, and then explore like the double meanings, and then decide what you say because in a song you sort of can oscillate between like saying one thing then saying a completely different thing, but the fact that you said them close together sort of creates like a relationship, like a connection that otherwise wouldn't be there. And it's kind of fun to just at the end of the song you've just said like a bunch of stuff and the listener just has all this information in one big bundle and they can kind of get the vibe or sort of take, they can apply it to their own life in some way.
Well, not really tracking, but I'm sure it's a piece of work for sure.
Yeah, it's just a fascinating process for me. It almost makes me realize new things about stuff that I've thought about because you write a sentence and then whatever the last word is, you have to think of all the other words that rhyme. And then you have to write another sentence that like ends with one of those rhyming words. And so then you just like search your mind for like what would be something that is not just like nonsense that can slot in like as a second sentence. And once you find something, the fact that they rhyme, it makes it seem like, well, these two things are related because they sound good together, like the two sentences rhyme. But then they could be totally different things. But then you sort of can do this process of like, well, in the rest of like if these two things are related, then the rest of the song could support that in some way. You can sort of start to draw like a more of a connection, and then sort of accidentally you've connected two different things, and stuff like falls out of that, which is it's fun. It's like surprising to me, which is kind of funny.
Try doing that in a different language.
Yeah. If I knew enough, it would be like a good way to study Chinese, like that I'm trying to learn. If I knew enough words, it would be fun to just start like trying to build simple sentences, and the constraint of build another sentence and just target it like sounding good, and then it would just be like the actual meaning could be nonsense. It'd be kind of funny.
I mean, not to diss the language or anything, but a lot of the sounds sound the same, like ching chang cho, ching chang he, chang cha he, cho chi cho cho chi cho. Okay, there's a lot of.
Yeah, I looked up one time like I wanted to hear like Chinese like spoken word rap because I think it has the potential to sound really fluid.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, like every word is like a beat. Yeah, and I didn't find anything like amazing, but I would expect there to be just some artist somewhere must be doing like just the coolest stuff.
Yeah,
and then it would be so fun to like learn what's actually being said, and that would be a great way to learn. But yeah, I just haven't. Maybe because I can't search in Chinese, that may be limiting.
Oh man, you just put Chinese rap. Come on.
Yeah, but I want the real stuff.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be real?
I guess China has like tons of poetry. Like that was a huge in their like centuries long, or I guess millennia long like empire. They have some really prolific like poets. And what I notice is like I don't care like reading a poem or having someone read spoken word poetry. I never really get so into it. But if you put like a simple beat behind it, and you read the poetry in time with the beat, then suddenly it becomes very fun to listen to, and you can play around with like the cadence of how you say stuff, and that's like a way better, in my opinion, like in my personal preference, like a way better way to deliver poetry like, to actual, because beat, like a cool beat just sounds so neat, and then if you layer in like some meaning, it's really neat.
That's what rap is. It's poetry with the beat. Now that I think about it, I still think
that's what I'm realizing, and it's weird. Yeah, it's
Eminem, yeah.
Yeah, Eminem. Yeah, probably best. That was like the first person I was aware of.
Man. He has like this cool ass raspy voice.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it when there's like in songs like the beat will drop. But then there's also a thing in freestyle where like they'll be rapping at a certain cadence, and then all of a sudden they'll just go nuts and they'll just start like saying thing after thing that like just flows. and it never like there's never like a pause. And that's always a moment that like I would love to create that in my own, like if I wrote like a song, I would love to just have a verse where it just starts and then it keeps going like across bars and bars, but and, like there's never a pause, but it like, you know, it's just like this free chain of thought. But then it's really fun to try to create those where if you find enough like rhyming words or structure.
Yeah. Well, it'll be Rapster Richard then.
Yeah.
Or
I was
Richard
pretty
the Rapster.
inspired by like I was very inspired by Kendrick Lamar because I went to his concert actually on like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you're talking about it before.
Yeah, and so then just from sort of seeing the way that he makes what he wants to say fit with the beat in unexpected ways, like it's not like I find any like when there's like a rhythm or like repetition in a song, I can find that to be annoying. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar really breaks up the beat in different ways and says things in unexpected, like pleasant ways. And so that just has it's expanded. Like when I try to fit like a sentence to like one bar of music, I have like you know I try different things. I say it fast or slow or split it up or there's just like it's fun to play around with trying to fit where like if you say a sentence in the right way, it sounds really good when it's really good bars. Yeah, and I didn't play around with that enough in the past, I guess.
So I'm in BC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved all my shit, man. Movers, they'll fucking destroy all your stuff and then blame it on you.
Yeah, you gotta or you gotta have like that insurance, like write everything down and the condition that it's in. Yeah.
I have a 100-year-old piano and they fucking lost the pins for the hinges back in Ottawa. They lost it before they even left.
Yeah, it's crazy how anything that's not like bolted down or like seen visually just goes missing.
And they did like tens of thousands of dollars of damage. If they can even repair the soundboard, I don't even know. Oh, dude, it's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, moving a piano, even like for like professionals, must be quite a delicate task. But in this case, yeah, with regular movers, it would be like impossible that they didn't like destroy it.
Yeah, no, they're like, we don't want to deal with this, and so they made me do a third party. So I had to pay like $670 for them to do a shit job to pack it up. Those are the guys that lost the pins, and then the movers had to redo it. And then I guess it wasn't done properly, and then it got damaged during the move, and then they unpacked it, and then they fucked it up assembling it. Now I don't have a silencer pedal, which sucks because I'm in a condo, and I want to be able to like play hard, but it not be as loud. So even with like the lid closed, it's very loud because there's no silencer, which is the left pedal. What it does is it moves the notes over so that the mallet isn't hitting all the strings.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it's a mechanism thing. So it's gonna have to be like repacked and brought into a shop and worked on. And I'm not gonna be here to receive it when it's done because it's gonna take like a month. So I'm bouncing, like I'm spending my time in Toronto for Naomi. But I'm like having this place as a vacation home.
Oh yeah. Is that your plan moving forward? Like how are you gonna divide your time, like mostly Toronto for the foreseeable future and then like you say, like vacation?
I'll come back every 2 months. It's not cost prohibitive to fly right now. For whatever reason.
Yeah, it's like a 5 or 7 hour flight or something.
Yeah, but I could just do like admin and stuff. It's more like it's only $350 round trip now, which doesn't make any sense. Like it used to be $1,000.
Yeah, especially
So,
because isn't like a lot of Canadians are vacationing in Canada, inside Canada. So you'd think there'd be more demand and higher prices.
yeah, but I think the CEO of WestJet was like, enough of the days of airlines being luxurious. It's just a mode of transportation. You have to pay that much. So that guy's offering like ultra economy, which means that you can't like cancel, you can't change anything. Like there's no option. When you commit to a flight, you commit to the flight, and there's no carry on. But being military, I get free checked baggage,
Right.
so I just fucking check everything. And I don't care if they lose it domestically; it's not an issue. They'll eventually turn up. So, I mean, everything kind of just aligned for this to work.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Like Costco is hop, skip, and a jump away. I have access to like these incredible motorcycle loops, curves, hiking. Gonna go climb Mount Finlayson after our call with my buddy Justin. You know,
Neat.
tons of healthy restaurants and stores. There's a massive lake system called Thetis Lake that's, I don't know, it's like it's, you can access it from the highway, but you just go up this street and there's like a trailhead. And you could be on there for like an entire day and then some and still not finish it. It's
Right.
huge. So, I mean, this is fun for me. I don't like parties. I don't like drinking. I don't like festivals. Like, I wouldn't mind like showing up for like a day, maybe sleep over one night, but I don't like fucking grinding it out. I hate that.
Yeah. So whenever you're in Toronto, do you have how do you play piano there?
There's a
Or do you-
keyboard. I have a keyboard that's weighted keys. There's a stand up upstairs in the house that we're staying in. And I have the option of like renting a grand piano, a mutual
Right.
friend. So I'll take a look at that option once I'm settled. This hasn't been the priority. Oh man. This is like army rucksack heavy, dude. Plus fire extinguishers.
How's
Reminds me
like
of
the
when
distribution? Is there anything poking? Like nothing's
Oh
poking your
yeah,
back. It's it like fit
I
well.
did. I just pushed it in so that things wouldn't break or get crushed. So I put like super heavy stuff at the bottom
Yeah.
and then light stuff at the top. It's not proper distribution at all. So I'm like bent over like an old man almost. Almost there. So when I
Yeah.
get in,
Costco is,
I'm gonna take a few minutes to like collect myself. I'll use the washroom and I'll be back on the call.
yeah.
And I'll unpack my stuff as I'm talking. Oh yeah, my same card. So what else is on the go?
I'm gonna get like a pair of Bluetooth microphones, like they're like tiny little matchbox size, and you can like put them on your collar, and they sync to your phone, and then so that sort of means like two people could record on the microphones as long as they're like within a couple meters of the receiving phone. And I'm kind of interested in getting that kind of audio because it would let me maybe like at sometimes maybe I would if I'm out with a friend I could record a conversation or me and my wife could record like a conversation while we're walking, and then possibly it would let me like interview people. I don't know when I would do that, but if the opportunity arises it would be cool. Like I have a mic, I can give them a mic and then just very casual conversation, like record some video with my phone. I was thinking I'll pick up like a GoPro. I'd like a GoPro on a selfie stick. I think that would enable me to get like a lot more video footage in different ways and more easily.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and then in August, I'm gonna go to like Seattle, Washington area, and I'll do like a run around, like with this company, I'll run 3 days around like Mount Rainier, like around the base of it. There's like a trail called the Wonderland Trail. And so if I have like the microphones and the GoPro at that time, I think it would be interesting to get footage and audio of that trip as like a test of how easy or valuable would it be to get footage and audio like that.
Yeah, sounds cool. So you're just gonna run around a mountain for 3 days?
Yeah, basically, the company is like Aspire, and they'll set up like a campsite each night. You can rent like a tent from them, and then they set up and they make breakfast. They make like good breakfast and dinners, and then you can make like a sandwich to carry with you during the day.
Nice.
But yeah, typically it's like you just have a day pack each day, and then you get into camp at night. But this year, a bridge like washed out, so they can't set up a camp on the second night. So a group of the runners that were formerly signed up decided like we'll just for that night we're gonna carry everything for that day. So that's a bit fun as well. That means I'll throw in like a one-person tent and food for the night and stuff into my bag, and probably I think there's the water we drink will just be like filtered out of streams. Once again, I did that in Yosemite as well.
Nice. Hey man, I gotta take a couple minutes. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
I'll see you when you get there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, back.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about having lots of weight on you makes it so that you can barely hold your pee. So that was eventful.
Yeah, I know. Like being cold makes it hard to not go to the washroom because your body doesn't want to like warm up the pee. I find it, yeah, in almost every race I've done, you have to really go to the washroom like at the start line, and then luckily when I'm running, it kind of goes away.
Is it?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, if I'm running, like the more I'm like hard I'm running, the less I have to go to the washroom. But yeah, in like marathons, there's always times when it's like, yeah, I pretty much have to go. So then you start looking for a spot, and then I always hate like losing like a minute or so, like stopping at whatever place.
You just like let you whip it out, piss as you're going.
In one race though, like longer races, everyone carries like a little bit of toilet paper like in their bags. And there's been races where like I just like run into the woods off the side of the trail and like go on the spot and try to like bury it and like throw the toilet paper in like a plastic bag or something. And that it's funny like those when you're sort of like yeah, it's like no choice, try to find like a good area. Like actually one time I was like halfway up like in this one particular instance, like halfway up a mountain in Wales that had all these like large boulders on it, and then I just was like I had to go to the washroom like in this field of boulders. It's like in like plain view of this entire like valley with like no one around, but it was a fairly like insane location to have to go to the washroom.
Yeah, that's funny. You gotta go, right?
Yeah. And then it's actually like in downtown area, like sometimes there's no washroom in a downtown area. And those are the busiest times. Yeah. Like I'll be like walking, if I've like walked a route before and I know there's no washrooms and it's like a 10K stretch and you have to go to the washroom, you're just like thinking like, well, there's nothing for me here. Like, I have no choice.
Well, and like a coffee place that sells you poop juice, pretty much, because every time you drink coffee, you gotta go. Like they should be fucking law for them to have a washroom. When I was in New York or Manhattan, I'll just narrow it down there. Go to a fucking Starbucks, and there's no washrooms, or the washrooms are broken. I was like, okay, they're not broken. Like I would in Canada just like fucking. Pardon my mouth, I keep swearing, but I would just be like, whatever, bypass the lock and go take a shit or whatever. But in the States, I'm worried about being like fucking sued for trespassing. So I don't
Yeah,
do
I
it,
heard
man.
I heard somewhere, maybe Ontario or something, there's a law like if a business sells drinks, they have to have a washroom somewhere, but it doesn't have to be like part of the business necessarily. They just have to have like some they have to provide some access to washroom or have one like within some amount of feet, but I don't know exactly where that law is or what if they enforce it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that I don't like the city for that reason.
Hmm.
Toronto's not bad. I mean, they have cafes with washrooms, so that's good.
Yeah,
But
that always feels like invaluable knowledge. Like once you're familiar with the city and you know where all the good washrooms are, then you sort of can just kind of wander anywhere in the city, and then you know like where to start going, where to head if you need to go to the washroom.
right? Yeah.
But then in like a foreign city, like if you get caught on like a random street in a city you're not familiar with, you're just sort of like searching the phone like for brand name restaurants, like hoping that when you walk in, they'll say they have a washroom.
Yeah. No, I find the States are weird that way. I haven't experienced it anywhere else. Most places have washrooms and they're not assholes about it. I mean, I don't know what this whole not providing washrooms for clients thing is. They're like paying customers. I guess like there's a homeless issue. So homeless people will like go in and like set up shop and you gotta fucking deal with the inconvenience of
Yeah,
getting them out or they're shooting up or whatever. Not just homeless
that
people.
must be that's like quite a challenging thing to deal with for whoever's working like as a barista in those places. They must like I've heard even like the fairly large mall that's downtown SF. There's like crazy stories of just like people working in clothing stores that like every day there's like these bizarre customers that like harass them, and there's not like they're just kind of trapped there. Like they have to go there for work, and they kind of know like they recognize the people that are going to cause trouble, but it's like they're kind of like prisoners there or something because they can't. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's not
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, buddy?
Yeah. I guess yeah. The only thing that I'm doing next is I'm still writing more. Uh, I'm exploring. Like I have a bunch of thoughts about like work and stuff, and I'm trying to organize that into a song. And I sort of have this feeling that if I if I do it right, the final song will bring together all my different like all these thoughts I have about capitalism and like CEOs and the elite like controlling things and the unfairness, like sort of bring all that together in one like 3-4 minute like freestyle rap. And I'm sort of interested to see like if I come up with something that really does rhyme and I'm able in my voice to sort of like rap it and it sounds correct or whatever, then I'll be fairly happy with that, I think. And it's been interesting because there'll be these moments where it's like, well, I need like one more line here, and so I start searching for like, well, what is like another issue that I have with society that hasn't been added to this yet that I can like rhyme, in this one location, and uh, I have a decent list, but I'm still modifying the lyrics a little bit. But I'm interested. I'm fascinated to see like this song evolve. And I've tried like singing it a couple times, and some verses like they'll sound wrong because they're too like accusatory or something. So then I modify them to be more like general. And it's been an interesting thing where I almost want to like I want to write like a song that reflects everyone's sort of concerns, but doesn't blame anyone, but that everyone can sort of listen to and uh, sort of see the problems that can or can't be solved.
Dude, you should be blaming people. Don't fucking beat around the bush with the problem. The issues that we have are created by people. Like, look at historical figures, the ones that like created the rules of the country, for instance. Like, you know, the rules are set up.
What I'm wondering though is like ideally, if the people that I'm accusing heard the song, I would want them to, like, I wouldn't want them to feel like they've been targeted by it. I'd want them
Why?
to, because I feel like the ideal thing would be they listen to the song and then they modify their behavior to fix the problems. But in order to do that, I feel like it's sort of on me to write something into the song that gives them like a path. Like it not only presents them with the criticism, but it presents them with some kind of plausible, hints at like a resolution in some way, or shares, basically says like, if I was in their position, I'm sure, I would be to blame just as much. But then sort of some kind of, like, I don't know if there's, I'm not going to like find an actual solution to present in the song, but some kind of allusion to like, there is a solution, and like hint at it in some way, so that it's sort of like a song that's like, it's not about silencing the song. It's about like considering the song as a way to help people move towards a solution or something, or like get a discourse like going about a solution.
Dude,
yeah.
Provide solutions, identify the problems, like policy and law, and how people are ultimately like not held accountable. Like, there has to be a way where, there's good people. See, the thing is that money and power corrupts us. So
yeah,
it causes acquired sociopathy. Like, let's just face it. Like, when we think we're better than our peers, we act differently. We feel like we're above the law. Like, this is all legit fact. Like, look at the fucking monkey who's the president of the United States, and the shit that he does and the things that he says. I mean, he's been indicted and impeached, and how is he still the person representing the United States of America? We're taught in the military, like, leaders, you gotta be good. Like, people are gonna follow you. Otherwise, they'll fucking kill you. And that's the problem, is that leaders are too well protected. And this is what allowed the early entrepreneurs that became the kings of old, is that they acquired physical security by hiring young, capable men and paid them so they weren't farmers, because there was an excess. There was food to go around. And they had physical security that made it so that other people couldn't kill them. Unless things were really, really bad and, their own people turned against them. But what's the issue? It's ultimately, these people have a monopoly on violence. People are brainwashed to think that defending your country is a good thing, patriotic, but yet the country uses its military for God knows what, like whatever their goals are, like resource grabs or whatever. But I find, like, in North America, there's not a lot of like protecting of sovereignty going on. It's more of having their fucking hands in the pie and exerting force on the world. That's what the States is doing. And they need to create global security so that their fucking dollar continues to be the world currency. I get it, because you can't have commerce in an unstable environment.
Yeah.
Where am I going with this? Is that the ultra rich, like, their money, they don't have to do anything. I know what it's like to have money. I see the effects of compound interest. And when you're sitting on $1 million or 2 or 10 or 100 million, you don't have to do anything anymore. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to have a business. You just you just live off your fucking interest.
And like the banks, so I would say that the true issue is policy and how it's propping up a system of greed. The banks, the mortgages. I just broke my mortgage early repayment, whatever. And they charged me 3 months interest and then another fee and then another fee and then another fee. Why? They had a risk-free guaranteed loan making shit tons of money off of me. I paid far more money in interest than I have on principal. It's criminal.
Yeah.
How little I paid on my principal. $5,000 in 1 year. I'm just going to say it, $5,000 in 1 year. And $20,000 went to the fucking lender because the interest rates are higher.
Huh.
My mortgage, I'm not, it was an appropriate mortgage rate. It was variable. It was 25-year amortization. It wasn't like a 15, if that even exists, or a 20-year. Just so you kind of know I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
And yet they were still making $20K. I mean, how is that fair? That isn't fair. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, because
half
if
and
it was
half,
like a
dude.
fair market, like surely some company would just offer less than that, like, but the problem is like all the banks have this floor, so we cannot, but it's like, surely there's enough headroom for a profit where they could charge less than 20K and still get, like, it's just like kind of free money. So it's sort of like,
well, that's what
where,
it is.
where there's not enough, maybe like not enough competition. Not enough people lending in a space.
There's enough people lending. That's all the banks do. They don't invest in entrepreneurs or small businesses. If they do, it's rare in Canada, and that's the problem. Is the money's too easy with lending for our overpriced homes. And I would say that the lending, the zoning issues that are at a municipal level, and the housing, like the amount of red tape in the way of developers, like there's a whole bunch of problems as to why we have a housing crisis, and it's kind of feeding into itself. And guess where all the money's going? It's going to the banks. It's going to the top. It's being siphoned off of all of us. So you can identify the problems and you can rap about it or create a song about it, and you can say it's the fucking government of Canada, it's the government of the United States of America, it's this particular policy that was determined by this prime minister or this president of the United States, because it's not new to them. They know what they've done, and there's nothing wrong. You have freedom of speech. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying what the problem is. Ultimately, I would say it's the policy catering to the rich. The adage is, those who have the gold make the rules. That's the golden rule. And the people who found this country and created the Charter of Rights and Freedoms or the Constitution in the States were the people in power who wanted to keep aristocrats in power, to keep the system as it currently is. So there you go. Turn that into a fucking song.
Yeah. And that's good. That's good material. Like, it's such a fun, because these kind of thoughts and like all these facts that we're listing, they're bouncing around in my head a lot. And it is like therapeutic to work them all into like rhyming couplets that can be rapped. And then it's sort of like getting it off my chest. Like, once you can publish like a 4-minute song that weaves all of this together into like a nice sounding narrative, like one package, then it's almost like you can sort of stop thinking about it. And whenever you want to sort of let it wash over you, you can like listen to a song that sort of plays it all out. And that's the kind of stuff that I would like to create. I feel like it's like educational and it's therapeutic for me. And it would be sort of create like a community. Like, the more, like, if these are sort of the things that are in the songs embedded in pop culture and out there and available, then it changes opinions and it gets people on the same page. And then even what's interesting is, like, especially because we don't, we no longer have any physical access to like rich people, and we wouldn't want to do violence anyway. So it's sort of like the
Dude,
like
no.
hierarchy.
Violence is
Yeah.
how you change things. Violence is what keeps the system in check. It's what changes things. Violence is required to persuade and influence people. Words work to a degree, but the people that really need to be affected, the ones that need violence, they're immune to words. They don't care.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. Like I'm sure there's quite a like it would be quite unexpected if some kind of art or song could change the behavior of the rich. But if they were sort of like if all the best movies and all the best songs had these kind of narratives embedded in them, I wonder the effect that would have. Like it would sort of depopularize the rich in an important way, I guess. It would remove like the mystique. Like it would sort of reveal that they're not smarter or stronger or more
They're
clever.
not.
Yeah.
They're not.
And that's what I would love songs to sort of communicate is like they're just like us, we would be them, like they're just like there's just a certain status quo that exists and let's learn about it and challenge it and like sing about it just to reveal it. Yeah.
Dude, they don't have to work. They spend their time getting educated and fucking like if they choose to. And they can spend all that time like learning and kind of like mentoring each other because they know those who understand money can be free from the system that oppresses most people. So, smart, wealthy families are going to pass this down to the next generation, this financial knowledge. And people, like, they're going to be able to spend their time in schools and have private tutors or whatever they fucking want. They don't have to work a 9 to 5. That's a third of their life plus commute time and other bullshit that just goes to learning. So they might be more educated, but it doesn't mean that they have more potential intellectually. Like financially, they have a lot of them have unlimited potential financially, which is the problem. But, it's like, they're given all the cards. And when you're given all the cards, it's easier to win whatever it is that you do. It's like there's a Monopoly analogy or actually a study where it's like, and it kind of shows how having an advantage can make you think that you're better. Like it was small sample size, but basically, two students would play against each other. One was given basically double the advantage and double the money to start, and ultimately would always win at the game. And then the way they treated their peer would change as the game would go on, and they would make rude comments. And then the person that was in a less advantageous position became more quiet, and their confidence was affected. And they saw this over and over again. Now I think it was a university study, and it's very like limited, but you can apply that to like the real world for sure. And here's the thing is that the people who had the advantage truly believed that they were just simply better than their competitor. It wasn't because that they were given the advantage in the beginning. They never even acknowledged that. And that's the issue is like they just think that they're better.
Yeah, music does have some music seems to boost confidence. I wonder that would be cool to do a study where you have one person has an advantage, one is at disadvantage, it's unspoken, but then the person at the disadvantage gets like all this good music to listen to that makes them feel like even though they're losing the game, like they're still winning, they're still valuable or something. And then it's like you repair their confidence by revealing to them the unfairness of the game or making them just feel more confident in general by listening to music that makes them feel seen and clever or something. And then they like whatever negative effects they would have suffered from losing, they're protected. Even though they lost, they still feel like happy and stuff because of the narrative that's been given to them through the song.
I don't know if words or music alone can do it.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I feel there's almost like nothing beyond like it a lot it really comes down to like our mental perspective. And so then it's about shifting how we view a situation, and like music and rhythm and storytelling, because music involves like you can have a music video and a song, and that's storytelling, and a rhythmic beat, and it's like catchy. And then that really, I think, is a powerful way to change, like help someone change their mindset. uh and like if if that can, if anything could do it, it would be something very like appealing to the human mind, with like such as like rhythm and music and like you can even dance to music. So you've got like you're moving your body in tune to the rhythm, to the storytelling, and you can show people like a video imagery, and even you
Okay.
can work that into a game too. You can make like a game that's rhythmic or something.
Couple
It's very
thoughts on that.
Mhm.
One is that first I'll say about like, inspiring, whatever else. Okay, there's something called the Pygmalion effect. And it's legit because I experienced it firsthand. And that's when if you give a child encouragement and resources and tell them that they're great and that they'll do well, they will. Most of the time. No one's
Yeah.
100%. It's how psychology is. That happened to me. I was in special needs up until grade 6. Should have been special needs even beyond that. When I got into foster care and I went to a different school, there was a lady named Miss Harvey, and she saw me and a few others and saw our, I guess, potential, and put us into a special program, an accelerated program, pretty much. And when it came time to go into high school, she said, don't take academic classes, take enriched, because you have the capability of doing it. Don't sell yourself short. Because trust me, I would have just taken academic. It's in our nature to take the path of least resistance. That's what we do. She gave me the resources and the encouragement to excel academically for me to go to university. And I'm the first one in my family to go to university. Probably will be the only, given what I've seen. No offense to them, but they have other priorities besides becoming a fucking white-collared cog in the machine. Or blue-collared even. I mean, I don't know if they've gone to college at all. But anyway, I've also had the opposite, the golden effect, from bullies, from poor caregivers, where if you're told you're a piece of shit, military, if you're told you're a piece of shit and not capable of anything, you will start to believe it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And your IQ will go down. I don't know if IQ fluctuates. Your intellectual capacity will go down. Your memory will go down. You'll lose your confidence. You'll appear weak and feeble, whatever else. So people who are in caregiver positions, mentors, friends even, they can all have an impact on you and what you're capable of. Like literally you could change lives with knowledge and information. I helped my friends become financially free and liberated from capitalism. They benefit from capitalism, but they're liberated. They're liberated. They're no longer slaves. And all they were missing was a bit of financial information and then, a few experiences outside of Canada to realize, oh yeah, Canada's bad for their health. North America is bad for their health. You can literally change lives. Music, I don't know if music can do it. I think a mentor, a caregiver, I think every person has the ability to change the life of somebody else, but it requires energy, it requires support and consistency. The other piece to this is what else you were talking about? Hold on, because you talked about that, and then you
Just the
mentioned
dancing, like I guess in a very loose way, like if giving someone information changes them, it's sort of like talking is a like a non-rhythmic freestyle rap with no beat sort of thing. It's like it's interesting that like the loosest form of music is just purely like giving information, and then people like human beings are like get bored sometimes. And so then it's like, but if you give like a compelling speech, then it gets like maybe more rhythmic, like the way the cadence of the speech and stuff is more like flowing, and the language is more poetic. And then if there's like backing music, it sort of builds it, like you can build a more of an experience. And then if you get like the people involved, like they're moving, and they're like if their hands are in the air or something, then it's like they're engaged.
Movement.
Yeah. So I feel like when I guess I say music in a very super loose way, where it's like using what we know about the addictivity of like music and rhythmic chants and stuff, and then applying that, like, you know, like the information is what we want to convey to people, but then package it with the style and the excitement and the entertainment of what we've learned, you know, that what people like about music, not in like a super musical way, but just in like a, just, I guess the conclusion is like you can, you know, package information more compelling with these different, you know, by getting people engaged and stuff. And that's kind of, it's fascinating because if it, like, I guess I take it to the extreme always, where I think like if you can reduce that information down to like the most critical pieces and then wrap that into a very compelling song, then you have like a viral thing where like everyone is like just happens to be learning about this financial concepts or something by through pop music or whatever without like realizing it, and then they get delivered the information like without realizing they're learning or something. But that's, I feel like that's maybe not possible, but there's like a whole spectrum of making information entertaining.
Well, kids can get inspired by artists
Like the
and be
alphabet.
influenced by them. Like they could be inspired by pop stars and whatever else, and like idolize them and whatever. I don't know if there's many out there that are actually saying like good shit, or they're just like,
yeah, that's what I have a problem. Yeah, I find that's unfortunate. Every song I hear is always just like about dating life or money or riches or like how good and cool the singer is. And occasionally I'll hear a song that has like real life content in it, and those are always fascinating to me.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm not saying that there's no chance. I don't listen to lyrics, man. Like I listen to the message the music notes are communicating. And if I don't feel anything, then it's just sound. It's not music to me. Like there's noises and there's like rhythms and whatever else, and then there's like music. And the frequencies have to go together to create music. Anyway, I'm not gonna beat that anymore. But I know a good song when I hear one, and I can hear the artist's intent or emotion through the music alone. And that's why I love Eminem, because not only does he do that with his music, his lyrics also follow. So
yeah, and his lyrics do some storytelling too with his lyrics, which I like that. Where you learn about his life and stuff. Yeah,
but even then, I barely listened to what the message was. Okay, so like I would hear the words like, "What is it? Knees weak, palms are sweaty."
Yeah, that's like the only lyrics I have remembered.
Me too.
Yeah.
Ever.
But it's not like we can apply it to our own. Like I don't know exactly specifically what he was intending to express about himself, but those lyrics are general enough, like just that one clip there, that like I can apply that to my life of, there's these moments where we need to like rise up and take a chance, or else, we don't get another shot. And it's fun to just have that in our minds, which we can use ourselves. And like he must have worked it into a longer song about a personal experience that he had or something, but it's applicable and catchy, and especially the way the backing sound sort of amplifies what he's saying. It's all very like compelling and motivating.
Yeah, I mean he's a legend. I don't know how genre rap can have someone like Eminem and then someone like Drake.
Yeah, Drake is at a low point right now. He just got so demolished. But I guess though
Good.
I don't know much about Drake at all, other than like I've only heard Kendrick's like side of the things, but I feel like I'm just glad that Kendrick was inspired to make some great stuff because he had like an opponent to with which to inspire him. And so for me, it's not really about Drake at all. It's just like I just love the height to which Kendrick has gotten his message, and I sort of almost feel like to me Drake, like the things he says are specific about Drake, but to me Drake represents the like, and I don't even know if this is true about Drake or not, but like I just feel like the concept of Drake now to me represents the sort of the false rich elite trying to mimic the trending and the culture, and then you have like to me it's like Kendrick Lamar's like the real culture and the voice and the authenticity, and then other people are mimicking that and making fun tunes to dance to, but there's no core in their thing. And when you put them side by side, you can see one is like a solid foundation with depth, and the other one is just like a pretend, uh, like a pretending to sort of be all that or something.
Well, just pretend. Written by ghostwriters. Yeah, fuck them. Like, no. But whatever. People eat it up. You know, if people are eating it up and enjoying it, then you know they're consuming a product at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
But
that's like
are
an
they?
analogy of capitalism. Like so many things are bad for people and just fake products and cheap things, but people buy them in bulk and that's the whole economy. And then rarely there's like a good product and a good service that when you use it, you really can tell. And then you wonder, what are we doing with all the rest of this stuff? You know, that's just like fake waste of times or something.
Yeah. Well, people are eating it up still. So
Mhm.
it is what it is. Eventually, I want to get my piano out there, but I don't want to do it for money. But I want it. I want to actually get it out there. So I need to figure out how to do that. I enjoy playing, and I want to share that with folks. I think that's it gives me value. It gives me a sense of accomplishment after I like play and make a song.
Well, next, like
I think
this community min max, very positive community min max, and that's the community that I just submitted my 3 minute documentary to. So next year, maybe about a year from now, they'll have another 1 month thing where everyone makes a 3 minute documentary, and they would love like if you did a 3 minute documentary where you just play piano or you just like there could be no talking, it could just be sort of like cinematic shots of the piano and you playing, or you could tell a story about what it means to you. You can see on YouTube, you can see the past festivals, like it's about 2 hours of like 3 minute documentaries, people sharing different parts of their life or their cities or something. But that would be, in my opinion, that would be like a great thing you could give the min-max. Like, I guess you have no idea what the min-max community is, but they have this whole like better quest concept inside the min-max community where members sometimes help each other, I don't know, lose weight, for example, or get more active outside or away from their screens. Uh, but it would be pretty fascinating to make a 3 minute documentary with the piano. We could even try to arrange somehow. I could either interview you or we could make our separate documentaries.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. Happy to give it a go. I mean, nothing to lose, right? So,
yeah.
I've done something like that, similar, like where it just didn't air. I was interviewed and stuff, but
Mm.
it was shitty video quality as well, and it's like all that stuff matters. So, yeah, like quality is important, and that's like one of my issues is that like I don't know how to record where it's crisp. If I could, then I'd be recording all day. But like, there's like this sort of I tried Audacity and it just didn't work. I tried mics. I paid a lot of money for the mics. Tried to plug it in, use an interface, and it just didn't work. Like there's a skill to it, and I'm not good at that.
Yeah, same.
But
I'm learning. The more I try to record audio and stuff, the more I realize there's some kind of art to it. But this would be something like this would be a good attempt, like trying to get the best quality that we could while still completing the project and getting something out there would be like a lesson in what is the best we can do, or what do we learn along the way trying to just get something.
Mhm. Yeah, well,
Yeah, the
definitely
more
happy to try it out.
yeah, I'll let you know. Probably in a year's time is when the next like 1 month sort of event will be, and we can
All
talk
right,
about it at that time. Yeah.
sounds good. All right, buddy. On that note, are we good for time?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you talking to me as I
Yeah, that was fun.
dragged 100 pounds of fucking food from Costco back home. It was
Yeah.
definitely an experience. I was a bit nervous. I was like, I don't know if I could fit everything, and I couldn't fit everything. I had to like break
Oh yeah.
apart the packaging, and yeah, it was interesting. But it's done, and that's the way to do it, man. Like, holy fuck, I feel like I've earned my food.
Yeah, I always feel like that. Like people receive more energy doing something like that, whereas I assume going to the grocery store in a car would be kind of tiring and boring. But it's like exhilarating when you have a little bit of challenge.
Yeah, and I have a Starbucks. It's just like right around the corner. So I go to Starbucks, grab my matcha tea coconut latte, no sugar, and then I walk up the fucking mountain, half a mountain to get to Costco, and then yeah, it's great.
Hmm.
I'm really happy with I picked a good place. It's not right on the ocean or anything, but it's like dead center of everything that you can want, where you could actually be vehicle free. Now, I have the motorcycle because I want to like explore and enjoy the curves and stuff, but I don't think I need a vehicle. And if someone wants to come visit, we can just get a rental
Yeah.
and split the cost.
Yeah.
That way, I'm not paying for the insurance, and like the insurance a month would pay for a rental for a week, and it's only as like an well, and then I would split the cost with somebody because it was like $200 and something for 7 days. Depends on where you go.
Hmm.
Super cheap. Also depends on availability. But anyway, if someone's willing to split it with me, if two people come, then that's a 3-way split.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll catch you next time, and I'm glad that you were able to make
Yeah.
today work.
Yeah, it worked good. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'll see you next time.
Okay, man. Bye, buddy.
Bye.